Twisted. And then that could afford them to pick something like a Kimi in mid instead of giving a big high ticket ultimate to Valentina. Although that's a traction pulse he'll be giving, it's fine. There's a lot of pressure. Gonna be really tough. Oh, there's the Atlas. That's why I was looking for it earlier, remember?
You were thinking about Atlas.
Yeah, I was thinking about I mentioned the Atlas earlier.
That's his third or second Atlas game for the season. What the heck? We were kidding!
I thought the purple, Atlas still had purple in him. I thought the Selena was going to be part of it. But the Selena is the final pick.
Damn! All right.
Into a Guinevere. Into an Atlas.
Doesn't sound
into
fun.
Into a Phoveus.
Doesn't sound
into
fun.
A Valentina. Into a Moskov.
You know what? Just give him 30 seconds, man. Renmar.
He's fuming, man.
You do.
He's fuming.
Let's give it to Sean.
Give it a benefit of the doubt. Yeah?
If he hits it over and over again, he is paired up with a back shell with a Revitalize. I think I could see the very blurry cataract-ridden vision. Yes.
It sounds difficult, but it's not. It's not just like yesterday, right? TNC's win rate. It wasn't 2%. It was non-zero. Right.
That's the thing, though. Why do I hear a but in there?
But
everything else?
But why? But why?
All right, loaded up into game number 2 here. I think it's safe to say that our analyst kind of just sees a TNC victory here.
Wait, Chaknu, hold the phone, bro.
Whoa, what are you doing there?
Okay, I guess the idea was for him to just see where 3 members of Twisted Minds are. That mid trio is going to be very important as to how the rotations are going to happen. At least he didn't use any flicker. He didn't use anything else. That's how we're going to start off the first minute.
That's a nice field trip right there.
Standard emblem. I also want to see if Chaknu's going to end up hacking the rapid boots still, or if he's just going to double down and picking up a tough boots. Because also him getting chain crowd control is not good. Let's see if he builds it. Okay, still rapid boots for the Atlas. Right choice.
Oh, wants to go for more.
Push back, and at the same goes for MP the King. But then Chaknu finally going to be using his flicker, but will not be able to escape as Twisted Minds gets first dibs on the first blood.
Really good chain there by Twisted. This is awesome teamwork. Not much you can do if you're Chaknu in that scenario.
I mean, as much as possible, I feel like, Twisted Minds are getting the stonks from the Selena, at least for now. So you got to give them that. They could get into a very early snowball with this kind of composition. Don't forget, Sean is also on a flicker, so as long as you don't get hit by any major crowd control, you should be fine. As long as you don't get focused on by Zyda, you should be fine as well.
Yeah, and plus, I did mention it, since it's paired up with a back shell with a Revitalize, there's a lot more room for error with this. Plus, stun from the shield unity of the back shell, plus getting hit by an arrow. If they keep timing it together, it is a really disruptive combo to deal with. And since they already did have the Alice, they didn't need any more magic AoE.
Oh, look at how fast they're burning the HP of the turtle down. It's going to be going to the side of Twisted Minds easily. Chaknu is going to be looking forward to the fight. 3 more pulling them right back. Now they're setting their sights on Tracia. Terrify's going to be there as well. And then the Roamer's going to be taken down. It's finally a 1-for-1. Lansu gets out of that situation. Twisted gets the turtle, but TNC is looking to fight.
Yeah, good trade there and good call for TNC to see that they could still walk away there with a kill. No clear advantage though for that kill. It's just a little trade that they wanted to take. SOD with a bit of knockback forces out the blazing duet, but here comes Chaknu.
Yo, that was pretty brave coming out of Benny Cutie. But apparently the reason why was because there were 2 other TNC Pro Team members. Nosha uses Purify.
Yeah, that's how info to work with. Still though, the Fatal Links should come back before the Purify comes back for Nosha, but Zyda found Lansu alongside 3 more up top.
Oh, that's a really good way to kick things off for the jungler.
It really is. Getting into that mode, this is what I'm talking about. The moment you get focused by a Guinevere, you're probably gone. You're probably gone, especially since it's combo with a Phoveus. So now, you've got more to play with here. You've shown your threat. Zyda's basically like, hey guys, you can't kind of forgetting, I'm here. Watch out, right? So I like that Zyda's still doing this, and again, that just reminding players like MP the King, players like Sean, you gotta watch your back.
Wait a minute. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Stone copied the ultimate coming out of the Selena. I don't know if I got that right, but if it is true, what's the sense of it? Like, trying to make sense of the situation. What's the idea behind it? Is it just an error, or would you go for it?
You get
something else.
Form shift.
You should get an arrow, I think.
Yeah, because it's a form transformation.
Yeah, right,
for the
there it
ultimate.
goes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, okay,
They're getting their own arrows and traps.
At least it's going to be an extra crowd control skill for maybe a few seconds. That's going to be helping TNC with this Turtle Siege. 3, no, 4, even 5 coming out from Twisted Minds. Shacknow's going to be evading that through the use of the Turtle. They're going to be bursting down the major objective quickly again. Shacknow's not going to be hitting anything. So is 3mar. So it's an easy takeaway for Twisted Minds.
Yeah, and for the people probably wondering why it looked like Zyda and Chaknu needed to hesitate, or were hesitating, because they need to. You're up against an Alice, you're up against a Baksha, and then the Claude was there nearby as well, with the Moscow being at the other side of the map. It would have been way too risky to try and make it, because if ever, it was looking like Twisted Minds were ready for a fight, if ever TNC wanted to go for it, and that easily could have been a 3K, 3-for-1, or only just a 3-for-2 trade, meaning the Twisted Minds would walk away with an even bigger win.
Yeah, I don't want to get wiped out this early on in the fight.
Whoa! A flicker to a fatal link. Sean's not going to be able to hit it. Instead, it's Chaknu bursted down by 4 members of Twisted Minds.
It feels like they're giving away so much and not really getting much in return as well. I don't know what the plan is here for TNC, but they're slowly losing steam.
Yeah, that looked completely misaligned. I thought that they were doing that. I wasn't looking at the map at that time. I thought 3mar was closer, but 3mar was on the lower portion of the map. You'd only want to do that if the Phobius is close by, so... Ooh, Mamba off the mark with that call.
Oh, you can only make as much highlights as possible. Nosha is going to be planned to be bursted down by 3mar, but 3mar stays under the turret, still safe in the middle of all 4 members. Stone's going to be joining the party and then backs away.
All right, so they got some tricks up their sleeves still. I feel like TNC still is rocking a lot of threats, so I like what I'm seeing at least. But how long can they keep that up? Like, I know they're trying to buy time for Benny, but is that going to be enough? They're not really doing much against Nausea right now.
I mean, the good thing is Stone actually has a EXP and slight gold advantage for himself. So your secondary carry right now is through the Valentina. It's going to help Bridge. As long as they don't have a major deficit for him, they're going to be fine. Most importantly, Zyda decided to go for the concentrated energy first. My big question for him is if he's going to rush the Winter Crown as second item, because that would actually help TNC a lot with making more risky plays and forcing things out of Twisted Minds way too early.
There goes another Turtle Siege that will be uncontested. All 3 those major objectives will be going to the side of the mines, but Benny Cutie has been able to burst down turret up top. Tracy probably up next. Chakno using the perfect link to actually go ahead to go with the others as well. Stun for a bit, and there goes the fatal links that will be only hitting 1 person. Stone, Lansu, zoning away Zyda as well, doing a really great job using this Alice, and MP the King goes for the punish. That's going to be Twisted Minds with another victory.
I was expecting an SOD to come in, but I think the TNC are putting a lot of value in the information of Lansu and Nausea, and if they have their ultimates or not. So it's a mix of hesitation over cautiousness, but at the same time, it's also looking at the other side of it. If they decided to take the risk, more people might get angrier. So it's a really tough call right now for each team fight for TNC. Twisted Minds are positioning really well. MP the King easily sidestepped the entry of Chaknu. He clearly saw that Chaknu was eyeing getting him, plus I believe it was Lansu or Tracy at that time with the fatal links. Twisted Minds just look ready for every engagement that TNC wants to go for.
And then speaking of those fatal links, Chaknu's been holding on to them like really long. For really long periods of time. I'm not sure what they're trying to do. Maybe just try to buy time.
Yeah.
You are showing yourself as a threat for like 2 seconds. Maybe while Benny QD is doing something else on the map. And in that last one, it was the mid lane turret.
Yeah, it's a little bit of deterrent. If you end up walking into that fatal linker, even though you didn't get initially caught, you'll still get caught. So it's just to buy a little bit more time for TNC to get into better position. After he gets his first, or sometimes maybe even no target there, it just allows him a little bit more room to work with.
Okay, so At least with Stove's Valentina, you can also just lay down
nice.
traps. And actually getting a lot of info for TNC.
Yeah, and good call for Zyda to go for the Winter Crown second item. There are some Guinevere's that end up picking it for the third core item, but rushing it right away in this scenario is really good. But they have to make a play.
Yeah.
Do something.
It probably depends on Chakno. That Fatal Links has to be on point. Nosha has his Purify though. No conceals have been popped off just yet. The wheel coming out of Tracy is dishing some damage towards Chakno. Lansu's looking for some possible opponents upon that siege. Chakno waiting for the right time. 3mar's gonna be doing the same thing. That's gonna be Tracy again taking the burden of damage. Knockout coming from the Lord, and it's gonna be Lansu taking that Lord, and it's all surrounded by the rest of the members of Twisted Minds. They've bursted 3 heroes down. Triple kill for MP the King, but then he will also suffer as a maniac. Wraps it up for Twisted Minds, ending the objective with a major win.
You see the frustration from Zyda in the camera right after that moment. The team didn't look like they were completely in line with what they wanted to do. It looked good. The members of Twisted Minds were close by, but Zyda didn't even get his retry off. MP the King got it despite him being the one heavily pressured by the entry of the Guinevere, the Phobius, and the Atlas. Let's look back at the instant replay of how that could have happened. Let's track Zyda. He gets a knock-up. See MP the King getting pressured by Chapman. They get knocked up by the Lord Twisted. But in the Blazing Duet, they all clumped up together. They get caught in the Throne of Ruin. And you see why TNC have been hesitating for a lot of the previous fights.
That was maximum value Blazing Duet, bro, I gotta say.
Yep.
They swam in that one.
And now they're kind of backed into a bit of the corner here. Twisted Minds using that energy shields. That's going to be the Lord taken down. Now they set their sights on middle, but that will immediately be neutralized by TNC. The threat is not going to happen just yet, but the Minds are still looking for a potential route to at least burn down one inhibitor turret, but I don't think it's going to happen at this current wave.
It's looking like we're going to be going into game number 3 with how things have been happening right now. Although Benny has been able to farm, he's opened up the map for the team. There were some moments where I feel like Benny should have been there with the rest of the team, at least helping down Poke. But then, again, you also play that Moskov away from team fights and you just come in with the SOD. Yes, for most scenarios, but TNC doesn't have that reliable source of poke for them. Their poke is all in. If Phovis wants to poke, if Guinevere wants to poke, you get close to the action. If Stone wants to poke, you put yourself at risk getting set up and stunned by the rest of the Twisted Minds lineup. So maybe a little bit of change for the requirements of Benny. Adding him towards the moments where they need the slow chip away of health first would be good for them.
Yeah, I would love to see that, right? And I think they're just leaning to their win condition anyway. Right now, the win condition for Twisted, I feel like they've already hit a bit of a power spike, especially since their lineup has that Selena. So they should finish soon, because I don't see this going well for them the longer the game goes on. Like maybe at 20 minutes, I don't see a Selena just having the same impact.
Yeah, from the looks of it, it feels like the deny of that Baksha coming out from the drafted Twisted Minds really came in handy, because it was just so telegraphed. They knew that they needed something. They knew that they needed the durability, and in spite of them going inside, it would have been no problem. But now, with the Lord spawn, Tracy is leading the charge in this Lord pit.
Sean's been fantastic as well with the checks. Again, he's supplemented by a really strong front line, but you also can't discredit that he's kept his deaths at a minimum. He's gotten vision, and even if that Abyssal arrow hits point blank, it is just a little bit more of extra delay that allows Tracy and Lansu to be able to get even more stunts and more impact in.
And they're just very willing to reset this Lord every single time. They've noticed that Benny is already up top, so the siege is probably going to be starting. Chaknu is going to be bursted down first.
Found him.
Zyda might come up next. He is there looking for something. He turns garbage into treasure, making the most out of it. Losing Nosha, but also losing the Lord in the process. It was a little too late. Almost by the skin of the Lord's hair. And still, Twisted Minds was able to get it, and maybe even more. 3 for the price of 1.
Oh, that would have been a highlight.
So close.
Benny Cutie, gotta give it to him. He had the right idea.
Ooh.
Oh boy. Man, my brain would have melted if he hit that one. It was like literally a take off, maybe 10 damage off.
Yeah, I think MP the King also delayed the damage. Maybe he kept
knew.
that in mind. He didn't rush it. Because if he sped up a little bit more the damage, then once that SOD flew in, I don't think it was even able to hit in range. It was slightly off, too.
Sometimes the SOD range is kind of deceptive, so
Yeah, it's hard to tell
might
how
have
big the
hit,
box is.
right?
Because the spell animation changes a lot.
Especially depending on what skin you're using. But
Yeah.
right now, it does feel like an unstoppable barrage here, walking up on top for Twisted. I wonder if they can make use of this.
Yeah, I think this is where Ben Hudy's services are going to be coming in handy late into this game. 14 minutes in, they're going to be able to burst down this Lord, no problem. Looking at the next wave at mid. It's Twisted Minds, also confused, or probably just waiting for the right time to actually strike because they still have another wave coming up top. Tracy kind of fighting a little bit more than he could chew, but here comes the other members with the Throne of Ruin and the Blazing Duet as well. Right at the back, Thumar's going to be dished out with some damage, and Benny Cutie still fighting. But the problem is, the inhibitor, it's gone. 15 minutes in, and look at Benny just playing aggressive, looking to go for it, but apparently not. Twisted Minds have gotten more than what they wanted.
Yeah, he can't. The rest of TNC needed to play back, and if they decided to take that fight, it actually would have gone pretty worse for them. But Twisted Minds forcing the issue here. They still have minion waves to work with.
45, all right. They've got lots of space to play, and they are going to be forced to wait for the next Lord.
You know, honestly, I felt like if Tracy lost or got that immortality buff, it would have been a different story. They would have actually went ahead with a counter attack, but unfortunately, because of the revitalize, it helped them so much to provide some space for the rest of the members of Twisted.
So much space being given here. I don't see them winning in the big team deathball fights. Do you? Is there a world where they've been trying to collapse for the last few minutes?
TNC?
And when they do, yeah, TNC, they've been trying to do that for the past 2 minutes. I don't know why they're trying to do that against a line that has a claw, but is that the right play here? Is Chaknu onto something?
I mean, it's the only play that they can do. If they don't do anything, they're passive.
Can't they
do
split or
something?
something?
I mean, they have been splitting the map with Benny
Yep.
Cutie. They've been getting the towers opposite side, but now at this point, our little suggestion for them needs to ring true now, but they still will send Benny Cutie. No. Benny, just stay.
Benny,
They need your poke damage.
you.
They need your poke.
Benny.
Benny.
They
It's all about him.
They have air, fire, earth, and water, Benny. They need the avatar. They need you to handle
Gets
those,
healed.
and Benny Cutie
Oh,
goes
no!
down, and it's Twisted Minds finding him immediately. Oh, what a blunder coming out from TNC. Now 2 is down. Shakno and Stone desperately trying to defend the middle turret, but it's because of the fact that Benny stepped too soon. Now it's Zaida looking to delay what could possibly be the inevitable, but Twisted Minds are looking for him up next. Tracy using the wheels to find him, guiding his way back to Lansu, even following him next. And this is just a difficult route. Zaida's gonna stay safe, but for how long?
I'm not sure, man, but 100% is sure. It's going to be a lot of a hard
Oh!
fight.
Can he actually make the Violent Requiem as an outplay? But apparently not, because Zaida's gonna come down, and it's all because of an overstep. Twisted Minds leads 9K.
A very different TNC from game 1 to game 2, but then it's the second game in a row where a red 4 surprise roam pick, a steal, ended up going really well for the team that decided to call it this Baksha for Tracy, paired up with this Alice.
Oh, this is going to be another 4v5 situation. Tracy still has the immortality. He would still have another extra life to actually go for the initiation, but the Lord is going to be there again. And then the rest of the members trying to look for Benny Cutie, but instead it's going to be other things that are happening around the map as MP the King is going to be popping off the immortality. Chaknu goes for it again, but then the Throne of Ruin with the Blazing Duet is probably going to be finishing all of them off, but Benny Cutie's still fighting, looking to clear some minion waves, but Twisted Minds are locking, loading, getting into game number 3.
That Maniac secured by MP the King in the mid-game was massive! From 4 kills up to 9, he ends the game, if I'm not mistaken, perfect! What a swerve by Coach Bonchan and Coach Esson to get that Baksha at 4. Making the Selena, which I will admit maybe I would have. I locked in too much of it as an individual pick. But then paired up with the Baksha, with how he played it with Tracy,
I
Sean,
understand it now.
I'm gonna give it to you. Good job, man.
It was completely night and day performance here between the TNC we saw in game